living person, I achieved 999 feats in the underworld and became a heroic spirit, only to be ousted by King Yama. Back on Earth, I was stunned. An apocalypse hit, turning everyone into ghosts. Some even contracted ghosts as envoys. Before me stood a man and a girl. Seeing my dense aura, the man told her, "She's dangerous. Use Taoist methods now." The girl pulled out yellow talismans, circled me, and stuck one to my chest. Drawing a peach wood sword, she charged, muttering about her bad luck. Just back, already facing this, while reaching out to. I tore up all the talisman papers around me. The young woman was completely stunned by this scene. Such a fierce ghost, yet not even afraid of talisman papers. Unwilling to give up, she took out a purple talisman and stuck it right on my forehead. I frowned, peeled off the talisman, crumpled it into a ball, tossed it away, and yelled at her, "What the hell is wrong with you?" Then I snatched the peachwood sword from her hand and smashed it in half. The young woman was now in total panic. None of her methods worked on this evil ghost. Without thinking, she turned and ran, shouting as she fled, "Uncle Lee, run! This ghost is too powerful." Hearing this made me even angrier. "You're the ghost. Your whole family are ghosts." Bad luck. 2 of them already. Nearby, a figure floated, muttering, "Such a strong aura. Devouring her will make me stronger." He flew toward her, then froze and fled. Impossible! Why is such power in the living world? Has the barrier between worlds vanished? 7 years ago, the barrier cracked, and ghosts flooded the living world overnight. This ghost was one of them. The stronger the power. Strong ghosts rarely appear among the living. He was shocked a high-level underworld ghost like me could manifest. Just then, I shouted, "Stop right there!" My pressure immediately overwhelmed the female ghost. She turned and begged, "Please spare me, Lord Molin." Confused, I asked, "You know me?" It turned out she was one of Yedo's ghosts and recognized me from my time as an underworld messenger 7 years ago. I learned that humans and ghosts now coexist. To gain energy, ghosts either contract with humans or cultivate in isolation. After understanding this, I told her, "Don't be afraid, I won't hurt you." Hearing this, the female ghost quickly thanked me and was about to leave. However, just as she turned around, I suddenly reached out and placed my palm on her head, uttering an incantation. Instantly, the female ghost vanished without a trace. Ding! Congratulations, you have obtained Ghost Trace and Ghost Eye. At last, the ghost suppression book that had appeared in my mind 7 years ago finally opened to its first page. Name, Chen Shi. Level, dangerous. Skill, Ghost Eye. Nethercoin output, 20 Wen per day. Note, the higher the level, the greater the Nethercoin output. After reading this, my eyes lit up. Nethercoins are condensed from ghostly energy. Both ghosts and messengers use them to level up. Official appointments require even more coins, making them essential for cultivation. Now, capturing one dangerous ghost produces 20 coins daily. 10 ghosts yield 200 a day, totaling over 60,000 annually. As a former messenger, my salary was under 100 coins. Incredibly, I also tracked this ghost. For the first time, I felt the ghost suppression book's power. Meanwhile, Chen Shi appeared in a vast, empty, walled-in space. I saw her drifting around in a panic, shouting, "Let me out! Let me out! Wait a minute! Why is the ghostly energy here so dense? It's even thicker than in the underworld." You have to know, when Chen Shi was in the world of the living, she had to spend a huge amount of effort and time just to accumulate a little ghostly energy. But here, just by taking a single breath, she gained more ghostly energy than she could gather in a whole month outside. This place is simply a paradise for fierce ghosts. However, before she could get too happy, in the blink of an eye, she appeared before me again. Looking at the terrified Chen Shi, I asked, "Do you want me to let you go?" Chen Shi quickly shook her head. "Being taken in by you is my good fortune." She wasn't stupid. If you have a place with such dense ghostly energy to stay, only a fool would refuse to live there. I nodded and asked again, "What is the function of the tail eye?" Chen Shi replied, "The ghost eye is my trick. After using it, I can see the level of other ghosts and the tracks they possess." I stroked my chin and pondered. Ghost eye. This trick might seem useless to others, but for me, it's like adding wings to a tiger. Since the space in the ghost suppression book is limited, I can't collect every ghost, so I can rely on the ghost eye to seek out some powerful ghosts. Chen Shi immediately understood my intention and quickly flattered me. "Lord Mo, I know of a terrifying level ghost. With your strength, you can definitely subdue him. I'll take you there right away. How about it?" So under Chen Shi's guidance, I soon arrived at the entrance of a village. Just as I was about to go in, an old man called out to me, "Young man, are you here for that guy inside too? That's a dangerous level ghost. You'd better not go in. Be careful." Before I could speak, 2 Mercedes-Benz cars arrived. A woman and 5 young men got out. She greeted Elder Yun, saying, "Elder Yun, here are the people I brought. Are they enough?" He nodded to the ghost handlers. 3 third-level and 2 second-level handlers. "That's enough." The woman smiled. "I'm relying on you today to help capture the dangerous level ghost inside." To ensure success, she had spent over 3 million yuan hiring these 5 handlers and gave Elder Yun 2 ghost artifacts for his help. She did all this because capturing the dangerous ghost would make him a 3rd-level handler and secure his family status. He waved his hand, saying coldly, "Block the road," then followed Elder Yun inside. His guards quickly barricaded the road, stopping anyone from entering. I asked, "Can I go in?" But they ignored me completely. I wasn't in a hurry, so I just stood nearby, gazing at the village and wondering if something was affecting me. The sky darkened. Suddenly, cries for help echoed from the village. A young woman was being enveloped by black smoke, trapping her as she screamed for help. Just as she fell into despair, I descended and shouted, "Get lost!" The smoke dispersed. Seeing me, she cried, "Help me! Get me out of here! I'll pay you well!" My eyes lit up. I was short on cash. I pulled her out and carried her back to the village entrance. Setting her down, I said, "Stay here, I'm going in." She tried to stop me, saying, "Don't go. The ghost inside is a powerful terror level." "You'll get yourself killed," she warned. I ignored her and walked straight toward the center of the village, where I quickly found the corpses of the 5 ghost handlers. Just then, a bloody hand suddenly slapped down on my shoulder. I turned around and saw old Yun, his face covered in blood, standing right behind me. "Young man, I'll give you 3,000 spirit coins. Just get me out of here," he pleaded, glancing nervously around as if afraid that ghost would suddenly appear. I paid no attention to old Yun. Instead, I dashed straight toward the wall of black mist ahead, thrust my hand into it, and yanked hard. Instantly, I pulled a black figure out of the mist, and at the same time, the information about this ghost appeared before my eyes. Life, execution, realm, terrifying. Special ability, Soul Chain. It binds and restrains enemies to deliver a fatal blow. Looking at the info, I thought how impressive this ghost I was. One glance revealed everything about this fierce ghost. The executioner was baring his teeth, but my ghost binding technique had already sealed his strength. Old Yun was utterly dumbfounded by this scene. This guy, is he that strong? He caught that ghost so easily. I totally misjudged him. I asked the executioner if he was from the bridge or the ghost domain. Humans don't know, but the underworld has 3 factions. Yedu under the King of Hell, the bridge under the Judge and Lady Meng, and the ghost domain under the Ghost King. Chengxi and I are Yedu. Our ghosts are peaceful. Bridge ghosts vary, but ghost domain spirits are violent, sinful human hunters. The executioner just roared, so I slammed him down, smashing a huge pit into the ground. The executioner's figure dimmed. I slammed him down again. After a few rounds, nearly beaten to pieces, he begged for mercy. "Spare me, I'm from the ghost domain." I struck harder, hating his kind most. I then asked, "How many messengers and agents are in the mortal world? What's the strongest ghost's power?" He just shook his head. Giving up, I placed my hand on his forehead. The executioner then vanished. You've got the second page of the ghost suppression book, now including the executioner's info. He yields 40 underworld coins daily. Higher level ghosts clearly yield more currency. With enough, I can become a cave master. Elder Yuan, seeing the ghost subdued, finally exhaled. He sighed at his severed arm, mourning his heavy losses. 3 artifacts and an arm gone. He thanked me profusely. "Young man, thanks for saving my life." Elder Yun then handed me 3,000 coins, which I accepted. Just as I was about to turn and leave, there was a crack, and grayish-white lights instantly shone from all directions. Immediately after, several pickup trucks drove in. When the vehicle stopped, a group of people in black trench coats got out. One of the women spoke up. "We are from the Ghost Encounter Society. May I ask where the ghost that needs to be captured is?" Seeing this, Elder Yun immediately understood that rescue had arrived. He quickly said, "The evil ghost has already been repelled." As soon as he finished speaking, the woman I had saved earlier staggered out and said to Elder Yun apologetically, "Elder Yun, I'm sorry for causing you to lose an arm." Elder Yun sighed. "Xian Yun, it's not your fault. I was too arrogant and didn't scout that ghost's level." Xian Yun then asked me, "Are you okay? Did it hurt you?" I shook my head. Xian Yun quickly sent me to a luxury hotel. Next morning, a woman knocked. "I'm Li Bingyan, Vice President of Yunchuan's Ghost Control Society. I've heard about you. We're a national organization with regional branches." Before I could speak, she added, "Join us. We won't restrict you. You're free to do as you wish. We only call when we can't handle a situation. Seeking your help for a fee." I stayed silent, signaling her to go on. Li Bingyan continued. "Our society has a top-tier intelligence network. We can help you find anyone, living or dead, and provide resources if you're in trouble." I didn't refuse. New to this world, I wasn't clear on the current situation, so I said, "I'll consider it." Li Bingyan wasn't disappointed. She politely said goodbye and left. Her companion grumbled as they walked away. "Do you really have to humble yourself so much just to recruit him, when he's only a ghost encounter envoy?" Li Bingyan replied in a very serious tone. "He captured a terror-level ghost." The man instinctively retorted, "Didn't Elder Yun say he only drove the terror-level ghost away? Could Elder Yun have been lying?" Immediately, the man realized that if this Mo Lin could capture a terror-level ghost, it meant he must have already contracted with one, making him a level 4 ghost encounter envoy. If he really did capture the terror-level ghost from yesterday, wouldn't that mean he now possesses 2 terror-level ghosts? At this thought, the man gasped, instantly understanding why Li Bingyan was treating him with such respect. I sat on the sofa, drinking soda and watching TV, savoring the feeling of regaining my humanity. After I was full and satisfied, I opened the King of Hell's golden scroll. It said, "Ghost Cave and the Bridge of Forgetfulness have established their own forces in the mortal world, but Night City has none. Be extremely careful. Ghost Cave is hunting Zishang Qingro. Help him if you can." I realized Night City is struggling while the other 2 forces are doing quite well. Zishang Qingro is my senior. As a ghost messenger, she helped me and was the strongest. The King of Hell spent much ghost money sending her to the mortal world 3 years ago to build a base. She hasn't gained power and is being hunted by Ghost Cave spirits. This reminds me of Li Bingyan's Ghost Encounter Society. Using their network, I can find her. Having a backer helps. Joining benefits me, so I told Li Bingyan I'd join. Unexpectedly, she and Jian Yun arrived quickly. Li Bingyan brought me a special phone and an ID card. After a few polite exchanges, she left. It was only then that Jian Yun explained her reason for coming. "Brother Mo, could you help me catch a ghost? I won't let you do it for nothing. I'll give you a ghost artifact." As she spoke, Jian Yun took out a small bell. Just one look told me it was a pretty good ghost artifact, but it wasn't of much use to me. Seeing that I didn't say anything, Jian Yun added, "I can also give you 10 million in cash, a house, and a Rolls Royce." She was truly desperate to catch a powerful ghost. His siblings are all ghost envoys. If he doesn't become one, his family influence will fade. I said, "Find Night City officer Zishang Qingru and I'll help you catch a ghost." Xian Yun replied excitedly, "I know an underworld officer, but I'm not sure if it's her." Surprised by the quick lead, I pressed, "Where is this officer?" Xian Yun's face turned grim. "That officer is being auctioned off." He stepped back as a terrifying pressure emanated from him. I asked coldly, "Where is the auction?" Xian Yun hurriedly stammered. It's being auctioned at the Jin Ancestral Hall. I learned this hall was once just a rundown temple, but 7 years ago, when the apocalypse struck, it became famous for capturing ghosts with talismans and peachwood swords. Xian Yun cautiously added, there are 2 level 4 and 5 level 3 ghost envoys stationed there now. If you go like this, it's very dangerous. I replied directly, just take me there. You don't need to worry about anything else. I'll help you catch a ghost. Xian Yun reluctantly nodded. In the lobby, a bald man blocked us. Sister Xian Yun, where to? She scolded. Move, I have important business. The man sneered. Business? Like the 5 ghost envoys dying last night? Or giving away family artifacts? Or spending 10,000 coins in your first month as acting head? The old master is furious. He's removing you and locking you up for 6 months. Xian Yun's face darkened. It seemed that the family was targeting her, and before Xian Yun could say anything else, the bald man waved his hand. Immediately, 2 burly men behind him stepped forward, intending to take Xian Yun away. Seeing this, I shouted impatiently, get lost! The bald man looked me up and down with disdain and said, wearing a cosplayer outfit, do you really think you're someone important? I advise you not to meddle in other people's business. Without another word, he lifted his leg and kicked me hard, sending me flying. The bald man then left the hotel with Xian Yun without looking back. Meanwhile, the auction at the Mirror Ancestral Hall was already coming to an end. All the items that were supposed to be sold had already been auctioned off, but the Yin messenger still hadn't been brought out, so everyone began to express their dissatisfaction. At that moment, a middle-aged man walked out with a wooden cage in his hands, smiling cheerfully. Don't worry, the Yin messenger is right here. Everyone's attention focused on the wooden cage. The cage was covered with a black cloth, densely inscribed with red characters. The middle-aged man slowly lifted half of the black cloth, revealing a miniature black human figure inside, and said, this is the Yin messenger. If any of you can sign a contract with him, you'll at least become a level 5 ghost encounterer. Some might even become level 6 ghost encounterers. After hearing this, everyone was eager to try. However, when the middle-aged man announced a starting price of 20,000 ghost coins, the noisy crowd instantly fell silent. Quite a while passed, and still, no one made a bid. Suddenly, a young man asked, can't it be a little less? The middle-aged man shook his head. No, at least 20,000. This Yin messenger is being sold for someone else. We don't have the right to change the price. After glancing around, he asked, is anyone bidding? Just as everyone thought no one would buy it, a young man in designer clothes waved his hand and shouted, I'll buy it. The middle-aged man immediately broke into a smile. Young Master Wang Bing is truly generous. Wang Bing also smiled and asked, can I inspect the goods? The middle-aged man nodded. Of course you can, he said, handing over the cage. Wang Bing took it, lifted the black cloth, and examined it carefully. Inside, it was indeed a Yin messenger, though it had been beaten almost to the point of falling apart. But that didn't matter to him. He just wanted his contract ghost to absorb this Yin messenger and thus upgrade to a dangerous level ghost. At that point, he would become a level 3 ghost controller. Meanwhile, on our side, we hurried along, and finally arrived at the Ancestral Hall. As Xian Yun got out of the car, she said, Brother Mo, let's hurry up. If we're late, someone else might buy the Yin messenger. However, after I got out of the car, I stopped in my tracks and turned to look at a wooden cage being carried by a young man, because I could sense the presence of a Yin messenger from there. At this moment, Wang Bing also noticed my gaze and asked warily, Brother, why are you staring at me? I pointed at the cage in his hand and asked, is there a Yin messenger in there? Upon hearing this, Wang Bing quickly took a step back. This person looked like trouble. So he said, I spent 20,000 spirit coins on this Yin messenger. If you want it, give me 20,000 spirit coins. I said, then I'll sell you the Yin messenger. I thought. Having only 4,000 spirit coins, I asked helplessly, can I trade something else? Wang Bing refused, guessing I lacked the 20,000 coins. His bodyguard shouted, get out! Xian Yun warned, he's a Wang family guard. Yang Shui is a level 3 specialist. Suddenly, a snort and a pop sounded. Black smoke drifted from my red robe. Shu's expression changed drastically at the sight. Just now, he had used a trick to attack this man, but hadn't left a single scratch on him. What they didn't know was that my clothes were actually a Yin artifact. Even a terrifying level ghost would have a hard time leaving a mark on it. I raised my hand and lightly tapped the soul chain. As soon as I finished speaking, a chain of fire shot straight at him. Yang Shu, the slippery one, was just about to dodge, but the chain had already wrapped around his neck, instantly rendering him immobile. Seeing this, Wang Bing immediately said, Brother, don't get worked up. We can talk about the ghost messenger business. Hearing this, I withdrew the soul chain, and Yang Shu collapsed to his knees on the ground. Since when did Yun Chuan have such a ruthless person? He muttered, while I turned to Wang Bing and said, I'm not taking this for free. Give me the ghost messenger, and I'll give you a fair trade, I said. Knowing he was no match, Wang Bing replied, I bought this to upgrade my ghost to dangerous level. But you can't do that. He gritted his teeth. Forget it. Take it as a gift. Let's just be friends. I interrupted. I can upgrade your ghost for you. Wang Bing stared in disbelief. Brother, don't trick me. Just take it. No more words. I didn't argue, and simply had him follow me. We arrived at a dimly lit house not far away, and then I shouted at Wang Bing, come out! Wang Bing looked around in confusion and suspicion. There seemed to be no one else here but himself. Who was I calling out to? Seeing Wang Bing glancing around, I said, don't move. I'm not calling you. I'm calling the one inside your body. Wang Bing looked at me as if I were crazy and said, brother, get a grip. You can't summon my contracted ghost. But in the next second, a black shadow slowly drifted out from Wang Bing's body, leaving him completely dumbfounded. It really came out. The contracted ghost trembled and pleaded, spare me, sir. I meant no offense. My soul is weak. My slow senses delayed me. I asked, are you from the ghost domain? The trembling ghost replied, I was night patrol, but a powerful ghost captured and took me there. Seeing him nearly dissipating, I asked how he was injured. He sighed. Sir, when you summoned a ghost king in the ghost domain, the massacre's stray energy nearly destroyed my soul. Wang Bing stood by, confused how a living person could have visited the underworld. And that 5 Viscera ghost concealment technique, just hearing the name gives people the creeps. The contracted ghost's words left you feeling rather awkward. Back then, you hadn't fully mastered the 5 Viscera ghost concealment technique but forced yourself to use it, and you paid quite a price for it. Moreover, ever since that incident, everyone in the ghost domain knew you were the heir to the Celestial Master. I sighed and said, "Let me heal your wounds now." Then I took out 10 100 yuan denomination spirit notes from the ghost suppression book, placed my hand on the contracted ghost's head, and in the next second, all the spirit notes turned into spirit artifacts, merging into the contracted ghost's body. The contracted ghost's body began to recover at a speed visible to the naked eye. Once he was fully healed, he repeatedly thanked me, but I just waved my hand, signaling him to return to Wang Bing's body. The moment the contracted ghost returned to Wang Bing's body, Wang Bing sensed his ghost's new danger level power, making him a level 3 ghost envoy. Excitedly, he said, "Brother Mo, let me tell you about the ghost officer." As Wang Bing went to lead me to Yang Shu, his car brushed past us without stopping. Stunned and annoyed, we watched him flee. I'd just helped Wang Bing upgrade his ghost, and now Yang Shu was ditching us with the officer. "Isn't that just using me?" Wang Bing nervously blurted. "Brother Mo, he acted alone. This wasn't my idea." As he spoke, he quickly took out his phone and called Yang Shu. "What the hell are you running for?" On the other end, Yang Shu gritted his teeth.
"Wait there, I'll get the old man to save you," Wang Bing shouted.
"You idiot, get your ass back here right now." Yang Shu, seeing this, became even more convinced that Wang Bing was being coerced, so he spoke again. "Young master, I know you're being forced by that guy. I'll go back and get the old man to save you, and together we'll deal with him." Hearing this, Wang Bing was exasperated, his mind full of frustration, and he shouted, "What are you imagining? I'm not being coerced. I'm doing this willingly. Hurry up and bring the Underworld envoy back to me." Maybe Wang Bing sounded too anxious, because Yang Shu had no intention of coming back at all. Wang Bing glanced at me, feeling guilty. He looked at me, then glanced at his phone. At this point, I also realized this was a misunderstanding, and it couldn't be resolved right away. So I said, "Then I'll have to go to your house myself to retrieve the Underworld envoy." Wang Bing quickly nodded in agreement. "Brother Mo, please come to my house with me right now." I shook my head and said, "Let me take care of something else first." Then I turned and walked toward the Jing Ancestral Hall, coldly questioning, "Who captured the Underworld envoy?" Instantly, everyone's eyes focused on me, and whispers started to spread around. The middle-aged man narrowed his eyes slightly and said, "Young man, what's this about?" I asked. "Who captured the Underworld envoy?" The man scolded. "None of your business. You're here to cause trouble." Several men appeared. Chen Yun whispered, "Brother Mo, they're level 3 ghost handlers," I said coldly. "I'm not here for trouble, just asking about the envoy." The man snorted, trying to summon his ghost, but it had vanished. It wouldn't respond. The handlers behind him felt the same. I said, "Tell me about the Underworld envoy, or I'll use force." The ghost handlers in the Ancestral Hall, unfazed, kept contacting their ghosts. Seeing this, I roared. Liquid flowed from my mouth as my chest writhed, something ready to emerge. Just then, an old man in a Taoist robe appeared and bowed. "Sir, please restrain your powers. I am the temple head. Speak with me." I took a breath and withdrew my summon. Since the person in charge was here, I didn't need the Musashi hidden ghost technique. However, the others were clearly displeased, seeing the temple master treat me with such respect. "Temple master. This guy caused a huge scene at the auction. You should expel him." The temple master snorted coldly at this and said, "Shut up, you bunch of clueless fools." Then he turned to me and said, "Sir, please forgive us for making a spectacle of ourselves. Please don't take offense at the words of these ignorant juniors." With that, he led me inside. What no one noticed was that Wang Bing was staring at the saliva I had just dripped, his face twisted as if constipated. "Do I really have to pick up that spit? That's so disgusting." Seeing him hesitate, the contracted ghost inside him became completely agitated. "Hurry up and pick it up, you idiot. That's not just spit. It's a liquid formed from ghostly energy so dense that it condenses. For ghosts, it's a great tonic." Feeling the ghost's urgency, Wang Bing had no choice but to grit his teeth and use a tissue to pick up the saliva from the floor. When he looked up, he saw Shan Yun nearby, staring at him with a look of shock and disgust. On the other side, I got straight to the point and said, "I just want to know who captured the Underworld messenger." The temple master immediately turned to the middle-aged man and said, "Qing Yun, tell this gentleman who caught this ghost." Seeing the temple master's dark expression, Qing Yun didn't dare to shirk responsibility any longer, and quickly replied, "We didn't catch the ghost ourselves. Someone else left it here for safekeeping. We only take a 10% commission." I pressed further, "What's the person's name? Which faction are they from? And where are they from?" Qing Yun thought for a moment and said, "He called himself Sun Ye. I don't think he's a local from Yunchuan. I've only met him once, and we don't know anything else. If you want to find him, I can contact you when he comes to collect the spirit money." I nodded in agreement, left my phone number, and then left. After I left, Qing Yun asked in confusion, "Master, why were you so polite to that guy? And was it really necessary to let him break our ancestral hall rules?" The temple master just calmly asked, "Do you know why you couldn't summon your contract ghosts just now?" Everyone shook their heads, puzzled. "Because your contract ghosts were afraid." Everyone looked at the temple master in disbelief. How could a contract ghost be afraid of a human? The temple master simply said seriously, "He's someone we can't afford to provoke. From now on, don't mess with him." Meanwhile, Wang Bing was already driving me and Xian Yun to the gate of his villa. As soon as I got out of the car, I noticed a tattooed man walking out of the Wang family residence, because there was a blood-red shadow floating behind him, filled with all kinds of wailing, pleading remnants. This scene meant that the tattooed man's contract ghost had absorbed the life essence of these remnants to increase its power. Seeing me sizing up the tattooed man, Wang Bing quickly introduced him. "Brother Mo, this is Long Huo, a level 4 ghost handler." At the same time, Long Huo suddenly paused, as if he was talking to someone, then quickly glanced in our direction before speeding up to leave. I also sensed a very familiar aura from Long Huo, so I flashed in front of him to block his way. "Why does an old acquaintance like you run away as soon as you see me?" Long Huo replied impatiently. Old acquaintance, I don't even know you, Longhu said, turning to leave, but I blocked him again. I'm not talking to you, I'm speaking to your contract ghost. Zhang Gui, we've met often in the underworld. Won't you come out? Before Longhu could react, a dark figure floated out, begging, Sir, please spare me. Everyone was shocked. Was a level 4 ghost really this cowardly? I showed no mercy. Zhang Gui, you did evil in the underworld, and now here too. No shame. This Zhang Gui was from the ghost domain, and back when I was a Yin Chai, I had fought with him before, and at that time, I struck him down 3 times, greatly weakening his power, but he still managed to escape back to the world of the living. I never expected to run into Zhang Gui here. Suppressing my anger, he pleaded again. Mo Yinxi, I have no grudge against you. Please, show mercy today. I sneered coldly. You killed several of my friends in the underworld, and you call that having no grudge? As soon as I finished speaking, a chain appeared out of thin air and shot straight toward Zhang Gui. He tried to dodge, but the chain seemed to have a will of its own and instantly bound him tightly. Realizing he had no way to escape today, Zhang Gui shouted loudly, Mo Lin, this is the world of the living, and my ghost domain reigns supreme here. There is no place for you Night City people here. You won't meet a good end. I ignored his threats and instead placed my hand on Zhang Gui's head to suppress him. Ding! Congratulations! You have obtained the black mist of trajectory. Wang Bing and the others standing nearby were all shocked by what they saw. This was the terrifying ghost Mo Lin, and yet he was subdued in just a few minutes. This was way too ruthless. When Longhu saw his contract ghost being taken away, he immediately rushed forward, shouting, Give it back to me! That's my contract ghost! After I kicked him away, I told Wang Bing, Send him to the police. He's killed dozens. Wang Bing tied up Longhu. His father called out, Wang Bing, invite our guest in. After agreeing, Wang Bing slapped Yang Shu, saying, Bring the messenger. Soon, Mu Longzi appeared, guarding the underworld messenger. Lifting the black cloth, I saw a dark figure, limbs pierced by red strings, hanging in the middle. The moment I saw it, I also realized that this underworld messenger was not my senior sister. When I tried to open the wooden cage, a crackling surge of electricity was instantly triggered, forcing me to let go of the cage. In that instant, a red thread shot straight toward me. I immediately drew the longsword at my waist and cut the red thread, then swung my sword again at the cage, shattering it into pieces. Next, I placed my palm on the ghost's body and infused it with ghostly energy. The ghost's body quickly returned to its normal size. As soon as he recovered, he immediately knelt on one knee and said, Little Li Shui greets the Lord. Thank you, my lord, for saving my life. I asked, Who captured you? Li Shui complained, I was trapped by a scheme between a big dog from the ghost domain and an envoy. I then asked, Do you know the whereabouts of my senior sister, Zishang Qingru? He replied, She has been missing for a year. I sent others to look for her, but there is no news. Finding no more useful leads, I told him to find a place to recover until I summon him. Then I turned to speak with Shen Yun. Shen Yun, lend me 10,000 underworld coins? Shen Yun agreed instantly. Sure, I'll go home now and get the money for you. He left, and I returned to the hotel. Back in my room, I summoned Zhang Gui to ask about the ghost domain. Trembling, he said, the ghost domain occupies 3 provinces as its own faction. Working with ghost envoys, they target Yedu messengers. So far, they've killed 32. I asked, how does the ghost domain know their locations? Longguo is vast, so how are they found so easily? Zhang Gui shook his head, not knowing either. Sir, I only know basic information. This gave me a headache. If the ghost domain targets Yedo's messengers, I'm next. I've killed many of their ghosts. Then, my phone rang. Li Bingyan called, sounding anxious. Mo Lin, do you have time? I said, just tell me. Li Bingyan said directly, a powerful one is at 26 Huanghai Street. 3 ghost envoys are dead. Please come take a look. If you resolve this, you'll get 2,000 wen. I readily agreed. I needed the cash. After hanging up, I changed. The institute uniform was too obvious. Any ghost would know my identity. To scout the ghost domain, I had to keep a low profile. I took my gear and cabbed to 26 Huanghai Street. Getting out, I saw the road was blocked. Sir, the road is closed. Entry is not allowed, someone said. I showed Li Bingyan's credentials to identify myself. I'm from the Ghost Control Society to help. The man replied, follow me. As he led the way, he warned. 4 handlers came before. 3 died, 1's injured. Be careful. At an unfinished building, a group was huddled, talking. The man told a woman with a ponytail, Cousin, the Ghost Control Society is here. Tang Fang nodded but ignored me. She was on the phone asking for an ETA. I started toward the building alone, but Tang Fang grabbed my arm and questioned me. What are you doing? I asked in confusion. Aren't we here to catch a ghost? Without giving me a chance to argue, Tang Fang pulled me back and said, the ghost inside is very fierce. It's already killed 3 ghost handlers. If you go in alone, it's just suicide. Don't worry, I've invited a very powerful ghost handler. Once he arrives, we'll go in together. Seeing this, I didn't say anything more. 10 minutes later, the roar of an engine sounded. I looked up and saw a helicopter slowly landing on a nearby open space. Then, a woman holding an umbrella stepped out. Tang Fang introduced her to me. Yun Ling is the strongest among the level 3 ghost handlers. See that umbrella in her hand? That's a ghost artifact, and inside it lives a dangerous level ghost. As Yun Ling approached, she asked, Sister Tang, what's the situation now? Tang Fang asked with a frown. It's very bad. We've already lost 3 ghost handlers, Yun Ling replied. After hearing this, Yun Ling patted the black umbrella. In the next second, a black shadow floated out, and the ghost leaned close to Yun Ling's ear, whispering something softly. Yun Ling nodded, then signaled Tang Fang to head toward the abandoned building. Seeing this, I quickly followed. Yun Ling noticed I was a new face and asked, you must be new, right? Then you have to stick close. When we encounter the ghost later, I can protect you. After saying this, she turned and led the way into the abandoned building. However, we hadn't gone far when a crisp crack suddenly sounded, startling both Tang Fang and Yun Ling. I spoke up a bit awkwardly. I accidentally stepped on a stone. I was speechless inside. These two's reactions were just too much. Just then, I suddenly sensed two ghostly auras, one strong and one weak. That meant there were two ghosts here, one of which was weaker. The path Yunlin was leading us on was heading toward the weaker ghost, while the stronger ghost was in the opposite direction. Tang Fang saw me looking around and asked, "What's wrong? Did you see something?" I pointed in the opposite direction and said, "It's nothing. I'm going this way." Without waiting for the two to respond, I turned and walked off in the opposite direction. Watching my back, Tang Fang said helplessly, "Newbie. Maybe they've never experienced life and death before, so they're scared." Yunlin said knowingly, "We all started out as newbies. I was pretty scared myself the first time I went on a ghost-catching mission." Suddenly, the ghost beside Yunlin sensed something and charged straight ahead. Seeing this, Yunlin quickened his pace to follow closely behind. Meanwhile, as soon as I stepped onto the second floor, a sudden chill swept over me. I looked up and saw a rotting face mask. The ghost swung its hand, and a wave of black energy rushed toward me. I raised my hand to block the attack, then flicked my wrist to unleash the soul chain, instantly binding the ghost. Stroking my chin as I looked at the trapped ghost, I muttered to myself, "So it's a dangerous level, fierce ghost." I had previously promised Xianyu to give him a dangerous level ghost, and this one was just right. So I placed my hand on the fierce ghost and used the wind ghost technique. In the blink of an eye, the ghost condensed into a black sphere. The sealed ghost cried out in surprise, "You actually know the ghost sealing technique. You're a Yinzi official." He immediately began to beg for mercy. "Sir, please spare me. I didn't mean to kill anyone. Those ghost catchers tried to arrest me, and I only killed them to protect myself." As I put the black sphere into my pocket, I said, "Don't worry, I won't hurt you." Then I left the abandoned building directly. Meanwhile, on the other side, Yunlin had just dispersed that dangerous level ghost and was saying to Tang Fang, "There should be another dangerous level ghost here. Otherwise, with just one dangerous level ghost, it would be impossible to kill 3 ghost catchers." The two of them searched the abandoned building for a long time, but found nothing, and in the end, they had no choice but to give up. Meanwhile, at Xian's house, a young man was angrily pointing at Xian Yun and shouting, "You've already squandered over 10,000 Ming coins before, and now you want another 10,000? Are you trying to drain the whole family dry?" Xian Yun retorted unwillingly, "I know a very powerful friend who is willing to catch a dangerous level ghost for me. I just need to lend him 10,000 Ming coins." The young man sneered, "Cousin, dreaming. Catching a dangerous level ghost is hard." Shen Yun's third aunt added, "You might be tricked. Even if caught, signing a contract isn't easy." Seeing her usual supporter oppose her, Xian Yun's heart sank. Then her grandfather spoke, "Give Yuna the coins." Her eldest uncle protested, "Dad, she's ruined several artifacts. We only have 10,000 left. Giving them away ruins the family." Her cousin added, "He's squandered 2/3 of our fortune. We should stop the coins and lock him up as a warning." At that moment, a strange voice rang out. "I'd like to see who dares to lock him up." Under everyone's astonished gaze, I walked straight up to Xian Yun and asked, "Are you all arguing over the 10,000 Ming coins I asked for?" Before Xian Yun could answer, her third aunt turned to me and asked, "Are you the one who asked Xian Yun to lend you 10,000 Ming coins?" I nodded and replied, "Yes, that's me." Xian Yun's cousin sneered again. "Xian Yun, I think you're a fool. Does this brat really think he can catch a dangerous level ghost?" Xian Yun's third aunt also spoke up. "Xian Yun, you must have been tricked by this kid." I didn't say anything, just waved my hand. Instantly, a ghostly figure appeared out of thin air. The old master of the family stared wide-eyed. This really was a dangerous level ghost. Just then, Xian Yun's third aunt spoke up suspiciously. "A dangerous level ghost? Why does it look kind of weak to me?" Before he could finish speaking, the ghost grabbed him by the neck. I quickly shouted, "Stop!" Only then did the ghost retreat back to my side. Xian Yun's cousin, standing nearby, swallowed hard in fear. This ghost was way too fierce. I then turned to Xian Yun and said, "This ghost is yours now. Go ahead and make a contract with it." Xian Yun, both excited and nervous, asked, "What price do I have to pay?" You see, in the eyes of ghosts, humans are inferior creatures, so if a human wants to make a contract with a ghost, they have to meet the ghost's demands. The stronger the ghost, the greater the ghost's power, the higher the price you have to pay. As for what exactly that price is, it depends on what the ghost demands. But I didn't let the ghost speak. I spoke up directly. "No price is needed. Just sign the contract." Then I turned and told him to take out the contract. The ghost, hearing this, very cooperatively produced a contract. On the contract, there were only the words, "contract signing." No other conditions at all. Xian Yun looked at me, then at the ghost, full of confusion. Why was this ghost so obedient? But without hesitation, he pressed his finger onto the contract paper, and in the next moment, the ghost merged into Xian Yun. The old master announced, "Xian Yun is now in charge," then left. Xian Yun asked, "I need 10,000 Underworld coins. Any objections?" No one dared to object. They agreed. "You're the head now." Later, Xian Yun handed me the coins. "Thanks, Brother Mo. I'll prepare the house and car soon." I took them, saying, "No problem. I promise to help. I'll keep my word and pay you back soon. Also, find me a house with heavy yin energy." Xian Yun nodded in agreement. I realized I owed both Xian Yun and Wang Bing 10,000 coins each. I asked, "Any way to earn coins fast?" Xian Yun thought and said, "There's no quick way, but selling extra ghost energy pays well. Living world ghost energy is precious. Even low-grade energy sells for thousands, and high-quality energy even more. These sell for thousands, since ghosts rarely forge weapons and never part with their energy." My eyes lit up. King Yama taught me to refine ghost energy, so with enough coins, I could make it myself. I asked, "Where can I sell ghost energy?" Xian Yun replied, "At Sifang Courtyard downtown, where ghosts trade. You'll have no trouble selling it." I didn't linger and hurried back to the hotel. I started refining ghost energy. Holding 10 underworld bills worth 100 each, my left hand flashed through gestures. Soon, the coins became a shadowy small knife. As it solidified, I frowned. It was just a low-grade weapon with 7 uses, worth a few thousand coins, but the profit was decent. That night, I spent 7,000 more to refine 3 more artifacts. At dawn, I drove Xian Yun's luxury car to the Sifang Courtyard Market. I walked to a stall, picked up a bell-shaped artifact, and examined it. This one-use ghost energy is junk, the owner roared. Kid, do you know what you're saying? Even for one use, it's top quality. How much? I asked. He sneered. 3,000 coins. I was stunned. This junk costs that much? I tentatively asked. What about a weapon usable 6 times? How much for that? He scolded me. Kid, use common sense. A 6-use weapon is a treasure. You won't find such a rare item in the market. It turns out, more uses mean higher value. In Sifang Courtyard, the best weapons for sale only last 3 uses. After talking with the owner about ghost energy, I finally understood that the ghost energy I refined, which can be used 7 times, should be able to fetch a pretty good price.